We all love React, right? It's incredible for building slick, interactive UIs. But what happens when your app needs to do some serious heavy lifting? Well, today we're talking about a powerful ally that can totally turbocharge your applications. Let's meet React's performance partner, WebAssembly.
All right, first, let's get real about a problem that I'm guessing many of us have run into. Even with all of React's optimizations, there's a point where JavaScript itself can just hit a wall, a performance wall.
So let me ask you this straight up. Have you ever built a really cool feature, pushed it live, and then just watched the UI grind to a halt? Maybe it's a complex data dashboard or some kind of interactive editor. You've optimized everything you can think of. You've memoized your functions, you've tweaked your components, but it's still just sluggish? Yeah, you're definitely not alone.
The real villain in this story, the thing that's causing all the trouble, is heavy computation. We're talking intense math, real-time data crunching, or super complex logic. It just clogs up the main thread, freezes the UI, and creates a really bad user experience. And honestly, this is where we start to see the limits of what JavaScript was designed for.
But what if you could just offload all that hard work to a specialized, high-speed engine? Well, you can. It's time to introduce the hero of our story, WebAssembly.
So what even is WebAssembly, or WASM anyway? Don't worry, it's not some brand new programming language you have to go and learn from scratch. The best way to think of it is as a compilation target. You can write code in languages you might already know, like C++, Rust, or Go, and then compile it into this super optimized binary format that browsers can execute at, and this is the key part, near native speed. It's almost like having a little coprocessor tucked right inside the browser, just waiting for the heavy lifting.
And here's the thing you really need to hear. A few years ago, yeah, this was kind of experimental, kind of niche, but that's not the case anymore. Not at all. Integrating WebAssembly into your web apps is fast becoming an absolutely essential skill for any developer who wants to build next-level stuff on the web.
Okay, so where does this performance powerhouse actually make a difference? Let's look at some real-world scenarios where WebAssembly doesn't just, help a little, it completely changes the game.
Just imagine this, rendering massive datasets for data visualization without a single stutter, or processing real-time audio and video streams right there in the browser. We're talking about full-blown in-browser games, complex physics simulations, and even those incredibly sophisticated editors like Figma, which famously uses WebAssembly to power its entire design tool. All of it running silky smooth. These are the kinds of applications that WebAssembly makes possible.
Now this all sounds amazing, right? But it brings up a really important question. When should you actually reach for WebAssembly, and when is it better to stick with good old JavaScript? See, it's not about replacing one with the other, it's all about understanding their specific roles. And this is the decision that can really separate good developers from great ones. It's all about knowing which tool to use for which job. So how do you decide when a task is just too much for JavaScript, and it's time to call in your high-performance specialist?
Okay, the absolute best way to think about this is like a partnership. JavaScript is the manager of your application. It is fantastic at orchestrating everything. It handles the DOM, user events, all the general app logic. It's the boss. WebAssembly, on the other hand, is the specialist you bring in for the really tough jobs. It handles all that CPU-intensive computation, any performance-critical task that would otherwise block your UI. But, and this is a key insight, sending data back and forth between JavaScript and WebAssembly has a little bit of overhead. It's not free. So you save that specialist for the truly demanding work where the performance gains absolutely crush that communication cost. They work together, a perfect strategic team.
So when you put it all together, what does this actually mean for you as a developer? Well, learning to leverage this partnership isn't just about making your apps faster. It's about giving yourself a brand new superpower.
Seriously, when you combine the raw computational power of WASM with modern React features, you can unlock some truly mind-blowing techniques. Imagine offloading a heavy calculation to a WebAssembly module and then using React's concurrent rendering to seamlessly display the results as they come in without ever dropping a single frame. That is the next level of UI development.
And let's just get to the bottom line here. In a world full of JavaScript developers, understanding how to effectively bring WebAssembly into the mix is a massive differentiator. It proves you think deeply about performance and architecture, and it shows you have the skills to solve the kinds of tough problems that others simply can't.
So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. WebAssembly is not here to replace JavaScript. It's here to make your React applications more powerful than you ever thought possible.
It's all about enhancing the toolkit you already have, not throwing it away.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Now that you know you can get near-native performance right there in the browser, what kind of previously impossible ideas can you finally bring to life? What are you going to build with all this speed?